What's good for thee is not good for me. And I don't mean good. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your number one source for everything It Ends With Us saga. The hypocrisy has peaked. As I've been sharing with you, Lil Bump Lively has subpoenaed Google to get information from 16 small creators. She wants banking and credit card info from them. The Gossip Ghoul alum is willing to take, but not give the same in return. As I previously covered, the Baldoni Wayfarer parties went to the judge to compel her to hand over computation of damages. Because Betty Snooze is not just suing to clear her name, she's also suing for money. And now, moments ago, lawyers for sexual harassment Barbie filed a letter with the judge opposing their motion to compel. We are asking for very sensitive financial information of others, but we're not willing to hand it over ourselves. Lying Lively's lawyers say, quote, "We write on behalf of plaintiff Blake Lively in opposition to defendant's motion to compel Miss Lively to provide a computation of damages under Rule 26A. A verified response to their damages interrogatory and documents relating to her claims for damages. Miss Lively has always agreed to produce such documents and information with the exception of a single request for production that was recently served regarding her net worth. As for the net worth RFP, the Wayfarer party's sole argument is that they were ordered to produce net worth documents before their case was dismissed, so Miss Lively should have to. This argument, however, falls woefully short of overcoming the general rule against seeking party assets and financial information and Miss Lively's constitutional right to privacy in the same. Be, in every sense, please. Subpoena Serena clearly only believes in the constitutional right to privacy when it comes to her. Her letter continues. These cases are also not mirror images of each other. Miss Lively has not made an undefined claim for $400 million in business tort damages, nor has she alleged that her damages include a change to her net worth as a whole, which would implicate items such as the value of her assets, properties, or investments. But Betty Buzzkill did say that the It Ends With Us saga did hurt her financially, and it hurt her businesses, which any dummy-dums would then equate to hurting her net worth. So asking for her net worth, I think, is very sensible to see if things really have impacted her, right? The letter continues, this is exactly the type of information that the Wayfarer parties now seek without providing any argument as to need or relevance. They did. Unlike the Wayfarer parties, however, Miss Lively's case sounds primarily in statutory employment claims and defamation, which does not require proof of or examination into Miss Lively's net worth. The motion should be denied as unripe and with respect to the net worth RFP without merit. And then they have the audacity in a footnote to claim the Wayfarer party's decision to raise this dispute just a week before Miss Lively's deposition scheduled for July 17th appears designed to create an excuse to reschedule or hold open Miss Lively's deposition, especially considering the Wayfarer parties claimed the need for any documents of Miss Lively's deposition. Y'all, You're just making up now. It's so exhausting. This is so draining and soul-sucking. The Woody Allen apologist continues saying that she has satisfied her obligations under Rule 26, which requires parties to disclose a computation of each category of damages claimed by the disclosing party. Here, Miss Lively's damages arise from her employment and reputational claims, neither of which involve straightforward calculations. In fact, in her initial amended discoveries, Miss Lively identified the form of damages she is seeking and expressly stated that she will provide an estimate of damages in an amount to be determined by an expert in accordance with the scheduling order in this case. Are you sitting down? The nature of Miss Lively's work as a movie star makes the calculation of her damages necessarily dependent on expert analysis of her relevant past compensation, which involves various forms of fixed, contingent, and equity compensation, and her likely future compensation. You don't even need a college degree to realize the numbers. Has your net worth gone down since all of this? Yes or no? I think that's a highly relevant number, but you know what? Judge Lion Lyman probably won't agree with me. Adicionalmente, with respect to the net worth RFP, the Wayfarer parties claim they need to know Miss Lively's net worth simply because the court previously ordered the same of the Wayfarer parties, but they fail to demonstrate the relevance of Miss Lively's personal net worth to any of her claims or the Wayfarer parties' defenses. In fact, evidence concerning Miss Lively's liabilities, retirement savings, property values, or investments that are subject to market fluctuations have absolutely no bearing on any aspect of this case, and the Wayfarer parties have failed to articulate otherwise. The Wayfarer parties put their net worth at issue when they made a specific demand for $400 million and repeatedly claimed to have suffered general lost profits, which this court drew focus on in compelling the Wayfarer parties to produce evidence of net worth. The Wayfarer party's net worth was also relevant since Miss Lively seeks punitive damages against them, an issue that does not exist as to Miss Lively. To the extent Miss Lively seeks lost profits, including as to her businesses in which she has an equity interest as set forth above, Miss Lively has already agreed to provide financial statements and lost profit information in her possession, custody, or control. Therefore, because the Wayfarer parties fail to demonstrate how Miss Lively's personal net worth directly relates to any of her claims, they fall well short of overcoming the general rule against discovery of an adverse party's assets and financial information. Instead, they advance a tit-for-tat argument for seeking this information, but that's not on a basis for compelling discovery, especially when the parties are not similarly situated and in no way satisfies the threshold requirement of demonstrating relevance. Additionally, in a footnote, FYI, as Miss Lively has already said, she's not obtained financial information from her related businesses, which are not within her possession, custody, or control, and may require third-party subpoenas. In summation, for these reasons, Miss Lively respectfully requests that the court deny the Wayfarer party's motion in its entirety. And you know what? She'll get what she wants because the high school graduate's got the judge in her pocket. Bias. Imagine this is a mirror. Hypocrita. All right, my fam, thoughts? Let's discuss everything in the comments section.